everyone. Setting my timer so I don't go over, because this video will cut off on me. You'll witness that firsthand. Thank you for joining me on your mats today, wherever you are. I hope your holidays were, well, as good can be, whether it was Passover or Easter, whatever it is that you celebrate. I really just want to get a lot of good stretching in the body today. I'm feeling very, very stiff. I don't know about you, but I know I am. And let's just flow and we'll see what happens from there. If you have blocks, books, whatever you want to use, always encouraged. Yoga strap, really up to you. I don't really think you'll even need it. I didn't even grab one, honestly. I like to show if I don't have a prop sometimes for those who don't. Let's go ahead and just sit comfortably. I'm going to sit on my block. Again, if you don't have a block, no worries. So let's sit comfortably and let's close our eyes. And give me a couple rounds of just deep breaths. Exhale throughout the mouth and just kind of letting go, releasing any tension that may be inside your body at this moment. Even if you want to sigh, let it out. Two more breaths. Let it out, release. One more. And let's just check in with our bodies for a moment. How are you feeling today? How are you feeling mentally, physically, spiritually? And whatever thoughts that may pop up, just sit with it for a moment. It could be stress, anxiety, sadness, maybe a little bit of irritability because I'm having you do this. But it's good to check in with the body. Stay with it a little bit longer. So let's start to add some movement in. Just open the eyes, kind of just shake it out. Whatever tension was there, release it. Let it go. Give it back to the earth. Let it out. Shake, roll the shoulders, the neck, whatever you need. Again, whatever tension is built up, just try to release it for a moment. And release. Let's come onto our backs. And I'm going to hug my knees in just for a moment, even rock side to side with it. For the remainder of class, we will breathe with a closed mouth, so breath will be in and out through the nose, your Ujjayi breath, breathing with sound. And let's release the feet to the mat. Feet hip width. We're going to open up with some bridges today. So the front of the body will be stretched while the back of the body starts to work a bit. So my arms are next to me. And I'm going to start to squeeze the shoulders under me already to where I try to get on the backs of the arms. And you get a little bit of height for your neck, which helps your cervical spine, the bones that run through the neck.
So I'm going to press up into that bridge. Make sure the knees don't splay out. They still track forward. If you are able to, you can clasp the hands under you, continuing just to kind of shimmy the shoulders together for that extra height. No stress if you can't get there. You can leave this one out. Deep breaths. Two more. One more. Release the hands and just gently unroll the spine back down. I'm going to drop my knees to the left, to the right, back to the left, back to the right, back to the center now. I'm going to hug in just my left knee. Easy low back stretch. And my knee is gently coming out to the side. I'm not bringing it directly to my chest to where it gets stuck by the rib cage. So just a little bit out to the side. And we will come into one-legged happy baby with just your left leg. So flex your foot, reach through the inside of that arch of your left foot. Toes turn out, heel is coming in. So we already have, we're already starting out with rotation within that hip joint. Try to keep your low back flat. And that opposite hip, it's really tempted to kind of roll away. So you want that right hip, encourage it back down to the mat. Again, deep breaths. Give me one more. Same leg, straighten it up now. And my hands come under that left thigh. Wow, I am tight today. Let's have a flexed foot. Micro bend in the knee is okay. That flexed foot will allow us to get a little bit of a calf stretch in there as well. And just gently guide that leg towards you. It's still a warm-up, so force nothing. Don't stress about going your deepest right now. You'll have plenty of time for that as we move on. One more deep breath. Bend that knee. Release back down. So we'll do that on the right leg. So first, let's hug it in. Settle in. And we'll come into that one-legged happy baby. So again, bottom of your foot faces up, reach to the inside of that arch. Toes turn out, heel turns in. Left hip, encourage that hip back to the mat. Don't let it roll away. Let's do one more breath. And release. Same leg straightens up. Hugging under that right thigh now. Flexed foot. One more. Good. Bend the knee. Roll onto your side. We'll go into all fours. Moving into a little bit more spinal warm-ups. Cat-cows. Shoulders over wrist. Let's inhale, arch the back, shoulder blades squeeze back behind. Exhale, tuck, round under. Again, inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Last time, inhale, arch.
Last time, exhale, round. Find neutral in the spine. Belly is drawn in. And we're going to take our first downward facing dog. So we'll curl the toes. Hips come up, leading into this pose. And they press back. Hands should already be shoulder width, feet hip width. So you should already be there from the all fours position we were in a moment ago. Elbows lock out. Don't let them bend. Don't let them flare. Soft into the knees. You don't have to lock out for that deepest pose just yet. Curl your tailbone just a bit. Gazing towards the kneecaps. 2 more breaths. One more. Inhale, look up. We're going to walk the hands back to meet the feet for our halfway position. So you inhale here, hands at the shin or mat. Exhale, soft knees as you fold down. Inhale all the way up, standing up, reach up. Exhale, hands in prayer at your chest. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, walk forward to a plank. Just here for a second. Settle in. Release the knees. So we're coming into 8-point, and I'm sure a lot of you are groaning because you hate this pose, but it's really good for getting into the upper back. So a couple of things here. Just as a reminder, your 8-point, you find an arch in the back because you're reaching the chest and the chin, so your back's naturally going to arch itself. So the elbows hug in as I aim my chest and my chin to the mat. From there, I'm just going to slide my legs out, and I'm set up for Cobra. So for those who maybe can't touch just quite yet, you'll lower down as far as you can and then just slide, scooch the legs back to continue to bring your body down. So pick your position. So now we are at the bottom of the mat. Hands are right next to your chest and you're set up for that Cobra. So inhale just the upper body. I'm not even going to press so far into my hands right now. I'm just kind of warming up. Exhale down. Again, inhale up. Exhale down. Last time, inhale up. Exhale, press yourself up and back. Find that downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and bicycle the legs. Encouraging one of the legs to straighten all the way again so you get a little calf stretch involved. Find stillness for one more breath. And now, inhale, walk the hands back to meet the feet, finding your halfway up position. Exhale, soft knees as you fold the belly on the tops of the thighs. Inhale, standing up, reach up. Exhale, hands in prayer at your chest. Again, inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, walk forward to that plank. Just here for an inhale. Exhale, release the knees. We set up for the 8-point. Inhale, aim down as best as you can. Exhale, the legs slide back wherever you are. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, coming up into that Cobra. Higher if you'd like. You can stay low. Exhale, downward facing dog. So with the bicycle legs that we do, go ahead and add them on now. And so I'm going to add a little twist on with it. The hands and feet never leave the mat. It's just a little twist. So say my right leg, my right knee comes forward. I twist out to the left, looking under that left armpit.
If my left knee comes forward, I twist out to the right, looking under that right armpit. So now just kind of flow those movements together, making it easy, just working out any kinks. And again, find stillness for a breath. Inhale, look up, walk the hands back to meet the feet halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, hands in prayer. This time, big toes together. Inhale, chair pose, sit back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway, hands at the shin or mat. Exhale again, walk forward, find that plank. Knees come down. So I'm adding on with the 8-point. I'm going to add a lifted leg, and you don't have to do this if you're not up to it. So I'm going to send my right leg back, arch the back, lower down to that 8-point, and then the both legs can come down. Inhale up, find your cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Sticking with the right leg. Send it back for down dog split. And you can soften that left knee if you're feeling tight. Still trying to warm up. It's morning for me still. And now we'll bend that right knee. Go ahead and bring that foot all the way through to land in between the hands, setting up for a high lunge. So from here, hands come to the tops of the thigh, arms reach up, inhale. Exhale, back down, find your plank. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees release. I'm onto the second side. So if you're doing that 8-point with the lifted leg, it's the left leg now. So inhale, find your 8-point with that lifted leg. Slide everything back down. Release the breath. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Down dog split, left leg back. Just settle in. Bend that left knee. Try to land it between the hands. Get there as best as you can. Setting up for that high lunge. Walk it up. Arms reach, inhale. Exhale, plank. Knees come down. So this time I do my 8-point with no lifted leg. So pick your version. Do as best as you can. Inhaling down. Exhale, slide the lower body down. Uncurl the toes. Inhale up, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Changing it up. I'm going to take my left hand to my right ankle. So that right arm is really working. Left arm back, and now the right arm reaches to the left ankle. Hand goes back. Settle in, down dog, one breath. This time look forward, and we'll step the feet together halfway up. Find your position. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, chair pose. This time, arms sweep forward. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands in prayer. Take the feet as wide as your mat. Toes turn out, heels turn in. So I'll turn and face you. And we're just going to sink into the hips for a moment. And I'm going to twist. And again, just making it easy. Working out any kinks you may be feeling, any tightness.
toes back towards the top of the mat or facing the top of the mat. And let's take a ragdoll. So grab opposite elbow,
Releasing the torso down, bending the knees. You can even sway side to side if you like. Shake your head no, shake your head yes. Halfway up in this position. So we'll come into this is kind of not a super wide-legged fold, but wider than usual. So my feet are as wide as the mat is, toes face forward to the top of the mat. Find your halfway position, whether you're at the shin or the mat. Big inhale. Exhale, squeeze the belly in as you find an easy fold, softer, straight knees. One more breath. We're going to round the spine to come all the way up. So take your time rolling up. Easy, easy. Head is the last thing. Crown of the head up. Feet come together, top of the mat. Big step back with that left foot. So big step back. Toes turn out. Double check that the heel and the arch are lined up. We're going to go right into extended side stretch. So we're going to bend into that right knee. So option one, that right forearm can come to the top of that thigh. Second arm, that left arm, can just simply reach up. If shoulder mobility allows, you can take that arm all the way up overhead. Even look to the fingertips. Pinky finger will face down. So don't turn your hand out. You're doing a weird shoulder rotation. A lot of us kind of come into that. So think of the pinky finger facing down now. To deepen, that right arm can come to the mat or a block, whatever, if you're using one of the props. Let's take it to the inside. Deep breaths. Belly in. I'm always on my fingertips. So if you don't have to bring a flat hand down. I like a little bit of lifting. For those that are really open in their hips, try to resist the urge to just completely let the body sag down. You want a little bit of work, a little bit of action coming from the hips and the legs. So you might have to lift a bit for those who are super, super flexible, just so you are doing something. Inhale, come back up. Straighten that leg. I'm going to find a wide base triangle on this leg. So, arms up, left hip shoots back as I reach forward and down to the shin, ankle, block, floor, whatever it is you're using. And again, I always come to my fingertips. That way I have a little bit of lifting. Shoulders are stacked. Left arm reaches up. You can look up if it's comfortable on the neck. If not, you can look forward or just down. Deep breath. One more. Inhale up, use your core. Good, exhale, arms release. So I'm going to turn my back toes and bring that back knee down. So we're going to come into twisted versions of those two postures. So for the extended side stretch, it's just easier to come into a twisted lunge. So I'll bring us into that lunge from the ground on up. That way you have different variations to work with. So big inhale, up and out of the waist. Exhale, that right knee shifts in as I twist out to the right to cross my left elbow over. Big inhale. Exhale, hands in prayer. You can stay here or
or curl the back toes, pick up that left knee. Two more deep breaths. One more. Good. Release the back knee. Untwist your body. So we're going to stand up, keeping the right leg in front. So I'm going to bring my left leg forward a bit. So I'm not in that super wide base anymore. It's just easier. So this is twisted triangle. So my left hip, I try to square it forward as best as I can. Back toes are turned out at an angle. They're not turned out to 90 anymore. They're at an angle now. So try to come, heel to arch as well. Big inhale here, hands at the waist. Exhale, we're going to forward fold first. My hands slide down my leg. Maybe you pause at the shin. If it feels deep and intense, stay there. Hands can come to the floor if you're okay with that. Flat back. My left hand will cross to where my right hand is. Right hand comes to my waist. And if you need to have a bend in that front leg, you can. Otherwise, have that left hand on a prop, whether it's a block, a chair, a book, anything like that. So we're twisting out to the right, and you'll feel it in this outer right hip. Belly's drawn in. If your back heel isn't flat, that is okay. Over time, it will be. On your next inhale, come out of it, all the way back up. Good, we'll turn. So now we're on the wide edge side of the mat, and I'm gonna widen my stance for a wide-legged forward fold. So toes slightly turn a little further in than the heels would. That's just so in the event that the feet start to slide out. Hands at the waist, big inhale. Squeeze the belly, exhale, forward fold. Hands can release to the mat, bending in the elbows. Lean a little bit forward towards the soles of the feet. The heels stay flat. We're just trying to evenly distribute the weight in this fold. One more breath. Inhale halfway. Exhale, hands to the waist. Use the core as you bring your body back up, up, up. So we got to do all that on the other side. So now it's my left toes that turn out. Double check that your heel to arch lined up. So we have extended side stretch first. So I'm going to bend into that left leg. So again, that left forearm can rest on the thigh, and opposite arm reaches up, or the bottom hand can come to the mat or your prop, your block, and that top arm can now swing all the way overhead. And again, pinky finger faces down. Mindful that you're not just carelessly sinking the hips just because flexibility may allow you. Give me one last deep breath. Inhale, come back up. Straighten that leg.
So again, now we're in that really wide base triangle. So arms up, shoulder blades down the back, no shrugging. Inhale, right hip shoot back. Exhale, left arm reaches for the shin, the ankle, mat, block, whatever it is you're using. Top arm reaches up, shoulders are stacked. Look up if comfortable on the neck. Belly drawn in and up. Think long torso. On your next inhale, use the core. Bring it back up. So now my back toes turn in and I release the back knee. So I'm going to turn around for this one because I showed you how the twisted lunge looks from behind. So I'll show you how it looks when I'm in it and you'll see me in the twisted version. So you're good where you're at. So it's the left leg that's forward. Inhale, up and out of the waist. Exhale, left knee comes in. Twisting to the left to get the right elbow across. Hands meet in prayer. Press into the hands to deepen that twist a bit more. Breathe. You can curl the back toe, lift the leg if you like. One more breath. Back knee releases. Unravel yourself. So now we straighten both legs, and that back leg, again, comes in a bit. We're not super wide anymore. It just feels better when you do the twisted triangle that way. So right toes are turned out. Heel to arch lined up as best as you can. Try to square the right hip forward. So big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Hands can maybe stop at the shins. You may make fingertips to the mat. And so now we prep for that twist. So the right hand goes to where the left hand is. Left hand comes to my waist as you rotate out, twisting to the left. And you'll feel that outer left hip. Use a prop under that right hand if it's too deep, too intense. And you can even soften that front knee a bit if you need to. One more. Unravel. Inhale back up. So you're going to go back to that wide stance. So we'll go into another fold. Hands at the waist. Big inhale. Exhale, squeeze the belly as you fold. Hands stay at the waist this time, letting gravity open you up. Keep that spine long. Think long torso. Up and out of that waist. Deep breaths. I am going to release my hands to the mat and I'm going to walk them forward. So you end up in a wide-legged downward facing dog, if you will. And just breathe here. Couple more. One more. Walk the hands back in, halfway. So I'm gonna swing to the top of my mat, so my right toes turn to the front, back toes turn, hands plant down, and I'm gonna send that right foot back to bring me into plank. Release the knees. We have that 8-point. Lower down as best as you can. Chest and chin. Pause here for a moment. Press into the hands. Exhale, slide the legs out. Uncurl the toes. Inhale up, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more breath. Exhale, knees come down. Easy child's pose. And up. So go ahead, legs come forward. So we're sitting up. So we're going to go into a couple of different variations of forward folding so we can continue to open up the backs of the legs, which helps to release the spine while getting flexibility in there. I'm actually going to turn and face y'all. I feel like it's maybe a little bit of a better view. So I will mirror you. So I'm going to bend in the right leg and think of bringing it into tree pose. So the bottom of my foot is to the top of the inner thigh of that opposite leg. Gently square back to the front. Big inhale here. Exhale, squeeze the belly as you work your way down into that fold. If you have a strap or a towel, you can use it. It'll go around the arch of the foot and you'll grip each end. No stress if you don't have a towel though. Hands just come anywhere under that leg. It could be at the ankle, the calf. You may make the foot. Find a little bit of arching in the back. One more. Inhale up. Good. Exhale, release, and we'll switch sides. Tree leg. Gently square back to the center. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze the belly as you work your way down, wherever the hands land. Not stressing about how it looks, how deep you get. Actively press that knee into the mat. Next, inhale. Come back up. So legs out in front. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. So in between these folds, we're going to do an L-sit. So the for different modifications, the first one will be hands plant down. So what happens is my shoulders pitch forward, and I'm going to press into my hands to pick up my butt. Okay? Land it back down. Second option could be, if you're going to try to go for that full L-sit, come back. Shoulders forward, hips shift back as you come up. Legs lift. Come back down. Okay? So we'll do it. Pick the variation. I get the feeling most of us will just be lifting our butts off the mat, which is fine. It takes time. And especially if you have any kind of wrist aches or issues right now, it's just going to feel better if you do keep the feet on the mat. So my hands plant, shoulders pitch forward, pick it up, your variation, come back down. So now we're into another variation of forward folding. So I'm going to take my left leg back. So from the side, the top of my foot is on the mat. I'm not sitting on this leg. If you're the type who has a nice meaty calf muscle, I do not, sadly. You can even kind of scooch the flesh out to the side. So if this hurts your knee, because we're in a pretty deep flexion right now, you can repeat what we just did, where you have the foot in a tree position instead of the foot now facing what would be the back of the room. So in this position, I'm going to encourage my knees to come together and even slightly rotate. So you don't want the straight leg rolling out to the side. You want the knees, think of them wanting to roll in towards each other. Toes face up. Big inhale here at the top. Exhale. Work your way down into that fold. Again, force nothing. This may be new for some of you, so just explore, see how your body feels. Belly's drawn in. Next inhale, come back up. Good, we'll release the leg. So now it's the opposite leg. You'll bend it in, send it back, move the flesh of the calf if you need it. And again, my knees kind of scooch towards each other. This knee even rolls a little bit inward to encourage the knees just to want to come together. So this is for protecting the knees as well as making sure your hip is in correct alignment. So I'm pressing my knee down, toes face up. Inhale here at the top. Squeeze the belly, exhale, fold. Force nothing. Next inhale, come up. Exhale, release the leg forward. So we're in our L-sit again. So pick the variation that works best. Hands plant, shoulders forward. When you come up, the hips shoot back. Legs lift. And bring it back down. Cross at the ankles. Roll forward for a second, releasing that back. If you need to roll the wrists, roll the wrists. So come to on your backs. Let's burn out this core for a moment. So we'll come into baby boat or canoe. So my feet will stay planted. I'm going to pick my shoulder blades off the mat, reach my arms forward. So do slightly flex your neck. So don't let the neck just dump back. So curl up a bit. You don't have to bring chin to chest. That might make you cramp as well. Just imagine there's like a little piece of fruit, like a little peach or something, in between the chest and chin. Shoulder blades off the mat. And back down. So we'll add on. So again, I pick my shoulder blades up, arms reach forward. This time my left leg straightens out, my right leg. Really make sure the low back is pressing into the mat, so you're curling that tailbone under. It puts a lot of pressure on the back. Bring the legs higher. If you need a little bit more support for that neck, you can have the hands placed behind. One more breath. And come back down. Bend the knees in for a second. And just kind of rock it side to side. And we have it one more time. So feet down. So again, to ensure that the low back is pressing into the mat, there's a tucking of the pelvis that happens. So we're not arching here. Think of rounding that low back, and that'll help you to tucking under. So my shoulder blades lift, arms reach forward, legs can extend. Baby canoe. To make it harder, legs can come lower. Goal is eye level. One more breath. And release. Whew, that's hard to talk. That's hard to talk and do it. Just rock side to side. I'm going to bring our body into a twist. So feet release. I'm going to cross the right leg over. And I'm going to continue to drop my legs to the left. Ooh, I already popped. Yes. So the right arm, you can cactus it on the floor. Or you can just have a straight arm and tee it out next to you. Looking towards that right arm though. Inhale back up. And now it is the left leg. Cross it, drop it, pick your arm placement. Looking to the left arm now. Back to the center. And again, hug it in. Gently rock side to side. And we're going to go back into, instead of one-legged happy baby, we have both legs now. So both feet face up, reaching to the insides of the arch. If you find that you can't quite reach for the feet, just take the hands gently under the thighs. And just work on flexing the feet so the bottoms of the feet face up. And let's encourage a little bit of curling in that tailbone. I want my tailbone towards the mat. Toes turn out, heels come in. I'm going to bring the bottoms of my feet together. And I'm going to encourage my feet towards my head. You get a little low back stretch. Usually if we were in class, this is where I'd help you roll all the way back. So it might be tough for some of you for the hips to even leave the mat. That's okay. Gently roll it back down. Keep the bottoms of the feet together in that diamond shape. And that'll lead us into our final posture, our Shavasana. If you are one who's prone to cramping in this position, you can take blankets or blocks, anything, and just kind of prop it up right next to that butt. And your outer thigh kind of just rests on whatever it is you propped it up with. And you don't have to, like I said. Some of us start to cramp in this. Hands on the belly. Soften the breath now. Enjoying that sweet, sweet Shavasana. Keep relaxing. Feeling the
body, so the body supported by the earth. Every limb relaxed. Start to wiggle the fingers and toes, creating movement back into the body. Hug your knees into your chest, gently roll side to side. Roll all the way over onto your side to push yourself up, coming up to an easy seated position. Hands in prayer. Couple deep breaths here. Open mouth, exhale. Sighing it out. Again. Thank you for joining me on your mats today. Namaste.